and gentlemen, welcome to Siboga TV, which is the home of politics. Yesterday, Oburu Oginga was actually confirmed to be the new ODM leader. And this is how he was confirmed.
I, Dr. Oburu Oginga, swear by the Almighty God that I will at all times uphold the values and principles of the Orange Democratic Movement Party Constitution, the Constitution of Kenya, the rule of law, and the administration of justice, that without fear or favor, and truly discharge my duties as party leader of the Orange Democratic Movement Party, so help me God.
After listening to that conversation on Oburu Odinga confirmation, Oburu Odinga went forward and he thanked the ODM leaders for conferring to him that honor, and this is what he had to say.
Kurudisha, asante sana for the honor you have conferred on me to take on this very, very heavy responsibility. I don't take your gesture for granted, because my brother was so dear to me. I lost him, and I still don't believe that I have lost my brother. When I see his picture here, I still imagine that we are dreaming. I still imagine that we are just dreaming. My brother is still alive. But be that as it may, it is God's plan, and we cannot keep on crying forever.
After listening to that, you can agree that Oburu Odinga was actually very happy to be confirmed as the leader of ODM. But after the thanking all the leaders within the ODM fraternity, Oburu Odinga gave this speech, which was striking a lot, and which, in my own thinking, achieved a lot. Because Oburu Odinga came out very strongly, and he said that he can never allow ODM to be dissolved or to form a merger with any political party. And Oburu Odinga went forward and told the leaders that they must always remember the ideologies of ODM. They must always remember the cause of ODM. And if you have not come across that video, please have a listen to Oburu Odinga.
We must be strong, and we must resolve to celebrate his achievement. We must resolve to celebrate his ideas. We must resolve to strengthen the only vehicle he left for us to move ahead, which is our party, ODM. Because if we leave ODM to sink, there will be nothing for us to move ahead. The death of Raila has made us to be more than ever resolved to be a party not only of this size, but to resolve to be a party much bigger and bigger and bigger. And we cannot allow ourselves to be kumezwa. Hatutakubali kumezwa. We shall not agree kumezwa, because if you are strong, everybody wants to talk to you. But if you are weak, nobody wants to talk to you, because you are of no use to him politically. Politically, you are as good as your numbers. People ask you, what are you bringing on the table? What are you bringing on the table? If you are bringing nothing on the table, kaa kando. So you must bring something on the table, and the thing you have to bring in politics is numbers. So the death of Raila has given us the vision, first of all, to maintain the principles he stood for. The principles he held dear, which was fighting for justice. Raila fought for justice and was completely fearless in his venture for justice. I can remember sometimes I was shaken a bit when he told me that, Oburu, we are going to be sworn in, I'm going to be sworn in as the people's president. And I told him, Bwana, oh, don't you think these people will charge you with treason if fighting for justice will cost me my life? So be it. And I told him, your life is so dear to us. How do you just give up like that? He told me, no, I'm not giving up my life like that, because I don't see why they should do it. But if they decide to do it, so be it. And I was a member of the Legislative Assembly, East African Legislative Assembly. I went to Kampala, but I had told him, he came with James Orengo to tell me that. He was with Jim. And I told him that you are risking dividing or dissolving NASA, because all the people who are surrounding you in NASA are all cowards and people who are not made of that steel. They will not be ready to go with you. They will not be ready to go with you. But he said, if they don't want to come with me, that is up to them. And I told him, but you are risking dissolving NASA. But he said, well, NASA should stand for justice. If NASA fails to stand for justice and it breaks because they don't want to stand for justice, I will not mind if they break. So I'm telling you, Raila stood for justice. And our party must continue to stand for justice and speak the truth to the authorities. We cannot be cowards, and we cannot allow ourselves to dissolve. And I'm telling you, the only way now we can move is to register membership. Let us have strong membership of the party. As we continue now to take Vipande, let us register as members of ODM, as many as possible, because registration is free. So if you people are lovers of ODM, please tell us how many people you will have registered by the end of the year. We want to see how many people are registered as members of ODM. And please spend your resources not to campaign for yourself, but to campaign for the party ODM. The time to campaign for yourself is coming. Elections are going to be declared. Wacha wale ambao wamechaguliwa waendelee na kazi, na sisi tuendelee to strengthen our party so that we become relevant when it comes to 2027. You cannot be in a coalition or form the government if you start dividing yourselves now.
After listening to that, you can agree with me that speech actually achieved a lot of things, because it was the most suitable speech for Oburu Odinga to make. And for me, I have tried to interrogate that speech of Oburu Odinga, and I have actually come to a conclusion that that speech was very suitable. And Oburu Odinga has actually shown that he is the most suitable leader for ODM, and he deserves that honor of being confirmed as the leader of ODM, because he has shown an experience. For the shortest time, he has handled ODM as a political party. And that is why today I am going to have critical analysis of that speech of Oburu Oginga Odinga. And actually, this is the first thing which was coming from that speech. And the first thing is Oburu Odinga actually want to maintain ODM as a political party. And that is why he said that I can never agree for ODM to be swallowed. I can never agree to have any merger with any political party. Because in the corridors of power, people have been saying that ODM was going to merge with UDA as a political party. But this is not a way for Oburu Odinga. And he has told all the leaders that that will never happen. And that is a very good speech, which I am very sure many people wanted to hear, because many people wanted to hear whether Oburu Odinga could want ODM to be dissolved. But he has come out as a hardliner who will support and who will make sure that ODM moves forward without it matching with any political party. And that was a message directly to William Samoei Arap Ruto. Another thing which I got from that speech is that ODM still want to control its strongholds. Because if ODM must control its stronghold and must remain to be very strong, then it must maintain its presence. It must maintain its identity. That is the only way that ODM will continue to control its strongholds. And as you know, politically, strongholds are very important. Because if you want to form a coalition with any political party, then the most important is your stronghold. You are able to bargain in the basis that how many stronghold do you control? So that one came out very clearly from Oburu Odinga. Another thing which came very strongly is that Oburu Odinga want actually to maintain the party ideologies. And that is why he just gave an example of what Raila Amolo Odinga has always been doing. That what Raila Amolo Odinga always stood for. He always championed the rights of the Kenyans. And that is why he could even go further to swear himself. So Oburu Odinga had brought that kind of message, and actually it struck very well, and it reached its home, and that is to the leaders of ODM as a political party. So that was another message that Oburu Odinga actually wanted to pass to the ODM leaders. Another thing which came out very open with that speech of Oburu Odinga is that the only leeway left for William Samoei Arap Ruto is to form a coalition with ODM. That is the only way. And that is the only piece which actually was being left out. And that is why he said that let us strengthen our party. Let us make our party to be strong. Because for our party to go into a coalition, it needs to be very strong. For our party actually to form government, it needs to be very strong. And that is why he urged all the political leaders that they should actually do all they can to register more members of ODM. So that is another thing that Oburu Odinga was able to tell the leaders within the ODM fraternity. And also, Oburu Odinga actually wants to maintain and make ODM to be more stronger, because he understands that the job I have been given is heavy, and what will make my legacy to be left behind is to make sure that I maintain ODM as a political party by not dissolving it, and by also making it to be more stronger than now. And as you know, presently, ODM is one of the strongest political party in this republic. And if it makes a mistake too much, then it will lose even its funding from the government, because now ODM is being funded by the government of this republic. But if it matches, it will lose its presidency, the same way ANC lost its presidency when William Samoei Arap Ruto convinced Musalia Mudavadi to dissolve his party to match it with UDA. And there's also another thing which I feel that from that speech was actually managed very well. From that speech, you can understand that also Oburu Odinga is trying to manage the fallout within ODM as a political party. And that is why, if you listen to that speech very well, it was trying to balance so that those who want to be in the broad-based government, they cannot be left out, because they will know, even if we are not going to merge ODM with the government or dissolve ODM, then we have a leeway of forming a coalition with ODM. And at the same time, we have the young people, the likes of Edwin Sifuna, the likes of Winnie Odinga, the likes of Babu Owino, who believe that still the party needs to stand with its ideologies. The party needs to stand with what it has believed on for many years. And that is standing with the rights of the people of this nation. And from that speech, they were assured of that we cannot dissolve the party. We are going to make this party to be strong, and we will follow the footstep of Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. So that is how I can actually be able to think about that speech. So that speech, for me, it actually achieved all the purposes that it was meant to achieve. And that makes me to feel that Oburu Odinga is a very good student of Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. I really don't know what's your take about that speech of Oburu Odinga. Do you feel that that speech achieved what it was intended to achieve? Please drop your comment in the comment section below. And if this is your first time to come into this YouTube channel, I request you kindly to subscribe, hit the notification bell, share the video to your friends, and doing that does not cost you anything, but you could have helped this YouTube to grow. And with that, I say thank you. May God bless you all abundantly until we meet in our next political conversation. Goodbye.